Can you sit there too? Can you sit there? Can you sit there? Can you sit
What's going on, everybody? How are you? My name is Patrick Jordan. I'm your host tonight, and you are watching Alone Together Pittsburgh. That's right. We have been streaming at you live since the shelter-in-place order came down from this pandemic we've been living through. We've done about 3 or 4 shows a week, every week since March. Hey, what week is this, Dave? What week are we on?
No idea.
I'm going to go with like 27 or 8. I'm going to go with it. This might be at week 28, episode 92, I believe.
29, actually. It's 29.
Oh, wow. See, the colors all bleed into one. I was trying to lowball it. I was under-promising to overperform. So week 29, we're still figuring it out. We're still working out the kinks. Thank you for joining us, welcoming us into your homes and your mobile devices. Thank you for choosing to stay in tonight and not go out and try to, I don't know about anything anymore. Thanks for going back. We had 5 days off. Yeah, I guess that would be good. So we had 5 days off over the weekend. We wrapped up the Allies Ball takeover last Friday, which went really well. And Allies met their goal, so we're excited about that. We are here this week. We have a fantastic week of shows lined up for you this week, so stay tuned. Tonight is going to be fantastic. We have Mark Clayton Southers coming up later in the show from Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater, and he has a new career path that he's been doing. He's been making some lemonade out of COVID time. He's going to share that information with us. And we do have the man, the myth, the legend, Grizz, the White Water Man, is going to be here tonight. But before we get to that, there is a couple of things that we have here, little pieces of housekeeping. One, the COVID numbers in Allegheny County were in the 40s today. They were in the 70s yesterday and 130 the day before, which leads me to believe that because the testing has been kind of like bottlenecked, we're still kind of like flowing like this pretty hard. I'm guessing we're around 70 or 80, which is better than it was a couple weeks ago. But we got to stay the course. Pittsburgh, stay the course. Allegheny County, stay the course, everybody. Keep wearing your mask, keep social distancing. I know it's a political time, which we might talk about a little bit later, but wearing a mask is not political. Doesn't matter what anybody says. And it's so not political. Bruce Springsteen even chimed in and told us something about it.
Hey, Patrick, I'm hungry.
That's good. Well, every now and then you can't just pull it out.
Put
But
on a fucking mask.
that was the boss. Okay. So the timing, we'll work out the time. We had a couple of days off, guys. We got to work out the rust. We got to work out the kinks. It's week 29. We're acting like it's week 2. But we're back, okay? We're back. We're focused our heads in the game. We have a little thing on the show that we do weekly called the Engine House 25 Winery Jagoff poll. That's right. EH25.com is the website. Check out Engine House Winery. It's located right there in the Strip District, where Strip District meets Lawrenceville and Doughboy Square. It's also House of the Clementa Museum. They've got some fantastic wines, tons of great reds, some of the best you're going to have, all made in Pittsburgh. The grapes come from Napa, Chile, and everywhere in between. Go to EH25.com. If you tell them that you found out about them from Alone Together Pittsburgh, you'll receive $5 off per bottle of this fantastic wine, right? You'll notice the sports things, they do all the labels in-house. Each bottle of wine is a work of art. So check that out. Also, they're still doing curbside and free delivery in the Pittsburgh area during the pandemic. So you can do it, gloves and masks, to your car, EH25.com. So, Dave, what is the in-show poll for the audience to vote on tonight?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about me. My name is David Mansueto. I came to the world of Pittsburgh sometime in the 90s. I don't remember when. But at first, I didn't find too much to like about the city of Pittsburgh. Quite frankly, I thought it was kind of creepy. But here we are, 40 to 50 years later, and I must say I've fallen in love with Pittsburgh and all its quirks. And I love how Pittsburgh lays claim to everything. Doesn't matter what it is. It's just like, you know what? That's ours. Potties in the basement, that's Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Put fries on anything, that's Pittsburgh. They've never done that anymore, anywhere else. Canadians don't do that. Heck, but whatever. We got an in-show thing. We're gonna lay claim to kayaks and rafts. Two things that there's nothing more Pittsburgh nowadays. There's me on a raft. Pete'll tell you, look, you gotta find things to do, especially during a dang pandemic. What are you gonna do? Eat peanut butter all day long? You can't just sit home and eat peanut butter all day long. That's not something you can do. Grab a raft or a kayak. So this is your in-show Jagoff. Kayaks versus rafts. You gotta pick one. Grizz has gotta pick one. Who knows? It's all Pittsburgh. Kayaks and rafts. Doesn't happen anywhere else. Never.
Okay, that was a shortcut to get to the finish line on that one, Dave. I'm proud of you. But I think this one came up in honor of Grizz, the Whitewater Rapid Man, who being here tonight. I want to say hello, hi Tara Mays, hi Amanda Blair, Kieran, nice to see you, and Jeremiah, you are correct. Pittsburgh is hard. Liam Neeson also is into the mask wearing thing, but we'll find out about that towards the end of the show.
My Lucky Charms.
All right, enough is enough about that. Okay, so before we bring out our guests, I think Pete wanted to come on and talk a little bit. Dave, I don't know if you wanted to chime in on this here. I think there's I think what I
Dave's like, yep, no.
yeah, phrasing it as a political time. I don't know if you wanted to chime in. Mrs. Mansueto's all about rafts, though.
Well, I mean, the rafts versus the kayaks thing, it's like kind of the sharks versus the jets in a way.
That's not my world. I missed out on that whole thing. You just
You're
got
not a
into
water
the raft.
guy. You're not a water guy.
You just got into the rafts, right? I'm a Taurus, man. I like my feet on the ground.
Well, Dave got me into the dinghy, so now I've got multiple dinghies I play with all the time, and
but when you wear your
take 'em out of
mask, your dinghy's covered. Am I wrong?
What are you talking about, Patrick? I'm talking about going out on the water, exploring the waterways of Western Pennsylvania, Southwestern Pennsylvania. Let's keep it clean here, buddy.
I was talking about masks.
Oh,
But okay.
no,
Go on.
That's a different type of dinghy.
There's so many dinghies on this show, you can't keep them straight.
It's true.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. So this weekend, I went out on the water. Mm-hmm. Actually, no, it was a Monday. Monday, I went out on the water, and our guest took me out, trying to avoid thinking about all the politics that is happening in the world.
Okay. Then what last night happened?
Then last night happened.
Right.
What a mess. What a mess. I don't even know if I want to get into it.
I don't even want to get into it. I don't get into details, but I will say this one thing, and this is a personal thing that I'll say. I was so distraught about this. I had a choice. I was distraught about basically the state of the country and a lot of things watching that and thinking that would be the president and everything, not getting into it. But I was distraught beside myself, and I looked at a bottle of alcohol, and I was like, I'm not going to drink that tequila. And I ate like the most giant piece of cake you've ever seen in your life. I literally just sat there and was like, and just ate like this giant piece of cake and went to bed. So I didn't drink. I went for like sweets. And that's how I sum up last night. All right, so I'm not drinking.
Stress eating, man.
Stress eating is what it was. So anyway, enough about that. It might come up later on in the show, but I am dying to bring out. If you have more to say, we can talk about it. I'm happy to talk about it.
No, I mean, I feel like I've been kind of between those two things, between like stress eating and stress drinking. Like that's about all we can really do right
now.
There's
already a pandemic. There's already a pandemic, right? There's already this 100-year thing that's happening. There's everyone's unemployed. It's like the biggest since the Depression. There's a pandemic. People can't go out. People go out, and then here's this shit burger. But anyway, Amanda has an old ocean kayak for free if anyone wants it. So I tell you what, if you vote in tonight, let us know why you should be the one to have this ocean kayak. We will have a secondary poll. We will vote on the show, and we will have Grizz himself decide who gets to get the kayak.
Did you hear about that woman in Maine who got attacked by a great white shark on an ocean kayak? It's one of my biggest fears in the world. Other than Donald Trump being president, but
but was she on the ocean?
Yeah, in Maine. She was out on the ocean.
She wasn't in a lake or something?
No.
Ocean kayak.
That's why Amanda's trying to get rid of it. She's afraid.
Okay. All right. Side note, one quick story. I'm not big on the water, right? I had to go on this. I went on this we went on a cruise ship years ago with Eileen and I were just dating. We went on a cruise ship with my family, with my mom and everybody. It was like her birthday, and we all had to go on a cruise ship because my sister couldn't fly. So we had never gone on vacation before, but so we went there, and I'm not big on the water, but one night, Eileen and I kind of got away on an island on like one of those cruise ships how they drop off, and we went to this like this resort kind of place, and it was empty, and the place was beautiful, but you were right on the beach. There was not a person on the beach. It was just the two of us, so we were just there on the beach. Went swimming all day. I went out to where you swimming forever and blah 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 blah. Had a few drinks. Everything's fine, great. We come back. Shark Week starts, and we're watching Shark Week, and the reason that place was empty because there was a horrible shark attack that had happened there not long ago because people chumming the waters to bring the sharks in for that game. That's me right there with the sunglasses on. That's Eileen over to the right. And there's Dave. That's what Dave looks like, clean shaved right there. And Pete, that's you with the glasses and the flat top. That's amazing. And there's Sarah.
I mean, I know you got a few years on me, Patrick, but wow.
That's what I was getting at. Anyway, speaking of a few years on you, there's somebody here, our first guest I'm really excited to have on here. I want to talk about whitewater rafting, but I also want to hear some stories. I might have years on you, but here's someone who can spot a fake ID. Let's bring out Grizz, the whitewater man.
Howdy.
How are you, my friend? How are you?
What's up, Grizz?
How's it going?
It's going. Thanks for being here with us tonight. So wanted to talk to you a little bit about this. Okay, let's talk a little bit about you first. Okay, whitewater rafting instructor. Could you say?
Guide.
Tour guide.
Raft guide.
Raft guide. Okay.
River guide.
River guide.
Kayak or rafts. So river
Okay.
guide.
So before we dive into this, how many? What differentiates the numbers on rapids, like category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of a thing?
Three factors. Rock placement, how the rocks are placed in the river. Are they undercut? Are they dangerous? 2, the steepness, how steep the river is. The third thing, and the most important thing, is the flow. A easy river that's just class 2 could be class 5 if it's completely flooding and trees are washing down the river.
So 5's like, it doesn't get any bigger than 5.
There is class 6, but that means no one's survived doing that rapid before.
All right. What would you be on here? Is that like a 2?
That's a 4.
It's a 4. Okay.
I'm in between the hydraulics.
Right. I understand. Nice. How'd you get involved in this?
That's a class 5 there.
Wow.
Basically, just after college, I went down, visited my siblings, and they said become a raft guide. I did. And now I've done it for 12 years.
Wait, had you ever been in the water before? Were you just like, you know what, screw it. Hey, I'm here to be a raft guide.
I was a fish before, so I was, none of it ever intimidated me.
Gotcha. So now, like, how long have you been doing the raft guide thing?
12 years.
12 years. And where do you do it out of? So you got 2 locations, right, where they can find you.
Yeah, all summer long, I'm based in Ohio, pretty much April through August. And then I'm down in Summersville, West Virginia area doing the Golly in the fall.
So how late does it go? I mean, you shut it down in the winter, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we pretty much go through October.
Okay. All right. That's cool. So, I mean, we'll put the links up. We've got the links up for that all right here. So, okay. So, full disclosure, Pete Spynda was rafting with you over the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we might have to check tape, but how did Pete do in your opinion?
Out of 5, he was a 4+.
A 4+.
I'll take that.
Okay, that I wasn't expecting this to go so well. Okay,
but it went really well.
Pete, had you been like whitewater rafting before?
So the funny thing is, I had not been whitewater rafting in about 10 years. And the last time I went whitewater rafting, I went with a few friends to Ohio Pile, and we went to Wilderness Voyagers, and we rented they would just rent you the raft back then. I don't think they do that anymore.
They do still, yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
So we just rented the raft. I was with like 5 other guys. We didn't have any idea what we were doing. Like 4 of the guys I was with were like almost afraid of water. And then it was me and one other guy who like kind of knew what we were going to be doing. And we get on the yacht, and Grizz happened to be there, and I knew him from the Brillo box, and we're going down. We made it through the first couple, but I think we get to, is it Dimple Rock? Or what's
I have no memory of this story.
It's true though, because
Grizz a lot of water for Grizz in the meantime.
Yeah, a lot of trips in between.
Oh, sure. I just don't know what's the biggest rapid in Ohio Pile. Dimple, right? So we show up at Dimple, and we're just like, what the hell are we gonna do here? And Grizz is like with like a crew of people, like a giant pack of like probably 20 rafts or something coming down, and he was guiding them through. And he pulls up to me, he's like, "Hey Pete, how's it going?" I was like, "Grizz, what are you doing, man?" He's like, "I'm a guide here." I was like, "Oh shit, that's awesome." He's like, "Do you need some help getting through this?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, we
just jumped to the back of the line."
No, he was just like, "All right, I'll take you guys down before like the other rafts go through." But that was the only other time I've gone whitewater rafting, and luckily Chris saved my ass then. So.
Okay, so now hopefully you got paid for it. So this time, so it coming around, going on. So okay, so talk us through this, Dave. We have a question here. Hold on a second. Question: if you get a rider who is out of shape, should they refrain? I am very fat. That is a lie. I am not afraid. I know I will float if I go overboard, but should I refrain from these sort of activities? That would be Fat Man D, fantastic performer.
No, you shouldn't. I would start with just class 3. Anyone can go down class 3. It's not hard, and you'll have a great time. You'll get splashed a lot, but see how you do on class 3, and then step up to something, maybe.
There you go. See that? And Amanda wants to know that she's always wanted to go whitewater rafting when she goes to Ohio Pow. Grizz, when can she go?
Well, tell the best times to go is April. That's when the water's the highest. If you don't want to go when the water's the highest and the river's class 4, go in the summer. In June, the water's still pretty good, but it becomes the more class 3 river at that point, and the weather's warmer, so you don't need a wetsuit.
Okay. So what are we rocking about now?
Well, now I'm in West Virginia, so it is a dam released river. So it's 6 weekends, 4 days a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, with a lot of water coming out of the dam each of those days. Same amount each day too. Gotcha.
Southers actually went whitewater rafting in Alaska with Delroy Lindo back in 1998. Okay. We're gonna have to hear that story. We're gonna have to keep Grizz around to parlay that. I've seen pictures from your trip to Alaska with Delroy Lindo, Mark Southers, but I did not know that you guys went whitewater rafting. So I'm excited for this. Mandy says thank you for the class 3 shout out. Okay, so now Pete.
Yes.
How do you feel your ride went over this weekend?
All right. So to be honest with you, I was really excited about going. I've been hitting Grizz up all summer about like different rivers to take the dinghies out on. Mm-hmm. And he suggested I take it up to the Slippery Rock Creek, which I did. And, I fell out a few times. I think we have footage of that.
We saw that. We saw that.
And then he suggested I go down to the Cheat at some point. And then he posted on Instagram a couple weeks ago, he was going to be in West Virginia and people were welcome to come down. So I took a couple friends down. We went down on Sunday night. We camped out, and Monday he took us out on the river, and I was scared shitless. I thought I was going to puke before we got on the water.
All 3 were.
Apparently, you've been talking about this nonstop, Pete.
Well, yeah, I have. It was exciting. It was thrilling. It was amazing. I mean, you'll see from some of the footage that we have, it was like pretty gnarly. I mean, those dudes were sitting there, and we're like, Grizz is like, okay, now you guys are gonna work, and he gives us the raft, and it's me and my friend Andy. We're just trying to figure out how to pump this thing up, and then Grizz is like, hey, you see that dude over there? I was like, yeah. He's like, he's one of the best paddlers in the world. I'm like, why is he going down the same river I am? Because I know nothing.
All right, let's roll tape. I'm guessing Pete's in red.
So I think you should let Grizz like set up what those rapids were called, and also explain to him like the people that are on the rocks, like what you told us when right as we're about to go down.
Yeah. So the first one was called Pillow, and above a major rapid, you tell them where you're going to go. That way, when you go where you say you're going to go, they know that you're doing your job right. But the big important thing is you tell them where to swim, especially on this river, because you don't want to swim into undercut rocks. It's a pretty dangerous river, which is a really good incentive because they were very scared. So they paddled very hard and aggressively through the rapids like they needed to.
And so what class were those rapids we just went down?
All
2.
those are class 5. All of them. I make them look like class 2 or 3, but they're class.
It's a 2.
Okay, so now explain to him like the people on the rock that are just hanging out, because that was the best part.
Oh, they want carnage. My boss explains it like above the rapid, you're a Christian, and when you get to the bottom and get on the rocks, you start cheering like a Roman, and you want carnage.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it really is that. And like once you get down and through it, like we like went up on the rock too, and we're like, are they gonna fall? Are they gonna fall?
Okay, I tell you what. You know what? I just heard from the booth. We have a Carnage video. Let's roll Carnage.
Hey man. Hey man. Hey my man. Nice job.
It's Monday, baby.
Hell yeah.
It's Monday.
It's Monday, Meltdown Monday, baby. Let's go. That's right. Get a lot of getting's good.
Okay. All right. I know that tape went on for longer, but we have a short time frame on the show here. But okay, there was a little bit of carnage. There was something that came up later in that tape, which if we have time at the end, maybe we'll bring that back around. I think something got flipped. There were people stepping on people's heads.
That's coming.
There was that's coming, but
it's coming.
It was we got to edit that down. So it'll come. Dave's going to cue it up. Speaking of which, here we go. Here it comes. This is Dave's. See, this is a high-tech show. Just so you know, like we are the future. Meanwhile, while we're waiting for this, okay, Grizz, have you ever thought of getting into any types of competitions? Are there competitions out there for?
Oh, there's races and stuff. I've raced before, yeah.
Okay.
These are the last two.
And how does that go?
The G River Canyon race happens the first Friday in May every year, and it's a 10-mile race from a bridge to a bridge, class 4 whitewater. Last year there was 172 people entered the race.
Shit.
Did you guys you're not all doing it at once? Is it just like broken down and timed?
It's actually called the mass occurrence because we all start at one time.
Oh my gosh. so you cut through. All right, hold on a second.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, that was a tough one.
They made it through.
Sorry for the choppiness, everybody, but this is the only way we can talk over it. So they're celebrating, they're having a good time. They forget to paddle. And next thing you know, they hit this rock. The water keeps coming.
Is that what happened? Or were they trying to get up there?
Well, they're trying now.
We're trying to get up. Yay, Meg.
They just stepped on somebody's head.
It's the worst thing right here on the river. Oh. That rock is called Dildo. They just got it.
So I tell you what, it looks like so much fun, but but yeah, they're still trying to get out on that other one. So all right, there you had it, folks. This was the one there. I guess instinct takes over. Now, most of the people that were paddling, they were semi-pros. These weren't first-timers. Am I right here on these rapids?
Everyone in that purple raft is a raft guy.
There you go. Yeah, all right. It seemed like they were a little too calm
You
to.
see it, Paul's right there with the red helmet, just sticking their tongue out at the camera person there.
Right.
They're loving it.
Okay. Good stuff. All right. Okay. It's a lot of water. It's a lot of water. So there's one other question here. Jackie Page is choosing. Where do you fall? What is it? Kayaks or canoes? What rafts or kayaks?
Rafts.
Rafts. Gotcha. I kayak, but when I'm with people, I usually hop in a raft with them.
All right. So
which do you prefer?
Well, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm taking friends down, then I'll hop in a raft with them. But if my friends aren't around, I'll just hop in my kayak and go down.
Okay, but
Other people, it's easier to kayak.
So rafts. We're to dead heat here. If you get stranded, is there a valet service?
Yeah, it's called helicopters. I know when you're in Ohio, pal, there's a bicycle trail that runs the entire length of the river. It's on the Class 3 river. So if anything were to happen, the state park could drive a truck down and help out.
Nice.
So that's a very safe environment there.
All right, good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah, the park rangers were there the whole time, right? Like as we were going
Yeah,
down.
on the Gauley River, which is Class 5, there's national park rangers. One's in a kayak, one's in a cataract. And they just hang out at different Class 5 rapids and watch people come through, set safety.
So when we were talking earlier before the show, you mentioned some time that you had spent at the Brillo box.
Yeah.
As the doorman there.
Yeah, I was a bouncer for about 5 years, doorman bouncer.
Doorman bouncer there for 5 years. Well, we're all super bummed about the closing of it, but I think you might have a story about Dave Mansueto on occasion. When he
was in charge of the pub quiz there, you get free drinks while you're hosting, and he would reach his limit sometimes.
So it was free to a limit.
It was free till when they don't think he should have another drink because he's really not in charge of asking questions very well or anything anymore. He got to those usually after pub quiz was over, but I think he got cut off once or twice before pub quiz was over.
Well, it was still going. He was still working. He was just numb from the waist down.
Yeah, he was. You're always tag teaming that, so sometimes he would be more of a co-pilot than the pilot.
Dave, do you have anything to say for yourself? All right. Can't say it any better than that. All right, that's good. I wish, you know what? I'll bring it. I wish I'd known. I have a photo of Dave from the early days of Pub Quiz that was in the Post Gazette. Mrs. Mansueto, I saved that clipping for Dave. If you don't have it, I don't know if Dave I wish I had it right now. Maybe I'll get it later on the show if there's a break. But I'll have it.
Gonna miss the Brillo.
Yeah, I am too, man. Yeah,
a lot of places they're going no longer,
Wow.
But that one's really going to be hard to swallow.
Yeah.
So you were there for 5 years, Grizz. Any good stories? Like, did you throw anyone down any stairs or
Carried some people downstairs, never threw anyone down.
Had to ask.
You got to carry someone down the stairs so they're not kicking you while you carry them down. That way you don't fall with them.
Did you ever carry me down the stairs? Like, I know I've had some rough nights there as well, but
No, I definitely watched you go down the stairs, and I'm like, you shouldn't take any equipment down. You're like, I'll get it tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah.
I believe that. I'll
they
definitely
poured
believe.
stiff drinks there. They poured stiff drinks. That's why I don't drink hard liquor anymore. So,
Since when? Like Tuesday?
I mean, every once in a while, I'll have a little bit of scotch or maybe a nip of whiskey, but I don't drink mixed drinks generally. I learned my lesson.
It's not the alcohol that gets you sick. It's the pop.
That's it.
That's what puts you over the edge.
The mixers.
Well, Grizz, all right. So you're gonna be doing this through October. What's your gig after? Are you still?
Well, normally I'm a school bus driver, but currently I'm not driving. So maybe we'll start back to school on November 5th. Maybe we won't. So who knows at that point?
All right.
So
if those kids get out of line on the bus, you're the wrong bus driver to mess with.
I think most of them look at me as a pushover.
So if people want to go on one of these rafting trips, can they request you as a guide?
Absolutely.
All right, sweet. I'm coming down next weekend with my daughter.
That's Cat 5 right there.
Yeah, that's a river in West Virginia. That's called Wonder Falls. It's the lower Big Sandy River. Two water.
Right. Pete, when are you doing this one?
I've camped there before, but never when the water was running that high.
That's a wintertime run. You see the snow on the rocks over there?
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not during rafting season. That's what I do in the wintertime as I go kayaking. It's a lot warmer in a boat.
Awesome. Well, hey, Grizz, thank you so much for being here. Everybody, check out Grizz. If you need a killer guide, that is the place to go. You can find the links. You can find the links there.
I got the license.
Gina's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back, Gina.
All is right with the world. Here's to you, Gina. Thank you for being here and not disappointing. Grizz, if you want to stick around, we can talk whitewater with Mark Southers. But we got to do some more housekeeping stuff. Talk about a couple of sponsors and go from there. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Grizz, for being here. And it's something to do. Another COVID trip. You want to get out. You want to get in the fresh air. You want to forget about what's going on in the world. Jump on the river with Grizz. All right, thank you, Grizz.
Thank you.
All right. So before we bring out our next guest, I want to tell you a little bit about a sponsor of ours, Red Start Roasters. If you go to redstartroasters.com, you can use the coupon code TOGETHERPGH, and you'll receive 10% off your order, and they are still doing free delivery during this pandemic. So go to redstarroasters.com, the only bird-friendly coffee roaster. They also have a brick-and-mortar location right there in the East End. Go to redstarroasters.com, find out more about them. And another sponsor that we have here that's new. Aaron Hart's usually with us on Wednesdays talking farm to table type stuff. Buy fresh, buy local. Go to farmtotablepa.com. Keep it real, keep it local. Go to the website because this is mushroom season. You may have seen it earlier in the episode there. If you were watching from the top, there are mushrooms everywhere. Go to your local farmer's market. Get on the mushrooms. Find out who's doing it. If you're foraging, talk to some people. Make sure what you're trying to eat is mushrooms. But go to farmtotablepa.com. Dave, you were actually at a farmer's market over the weekend, weren't you?
I love it. I love it. Every week, I look forward to it. Arsenal Park. Oh, it's so good. People are missing out. Like, this is something I never did pre-COVID, but now that it's going on, I'm in. It's a blast. You go there, there's so much good food. Shadow Benny is this amazing vegan Trinidadian cuisine that, like, you get to meet all the farmers and the people working and all the crafters and the people pickling. It's just beer. They got a hop farm there. It's just the best.
Can't beat it. All right, so find out about that. Farmtotablepa.com. Check it out. All right, so now is the time we bring out I think it's just bring out our next guest. He's been waiting patiently in the wings, dying to chime in. You know him as the founder and artistic director of Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater Company. I know him as Southers. Here he is, Mark Southers, with a new gig on his resume. Captain, I went whitewater rafting with Delroy Lindo back in '98.
Right.
What's happening, Mark? Thanks for being here with us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me, Pajoni.
Hey, how's everything going here? I know you're coping, got some new coping stuff going on with the pandemic, but before we get to that, you've got a new season announced. It's the last time you were on the show, you didn't have the season ready to announce, but now you do.
Right.
So what's going on at Pittsburgh Playwrights during this turbulent time?
Well, we have a robust season. We're running a little bit behind, a few weeks behind, but I think we're going to come out in full force with our first piece called Hypersensitive by the Vanessa German, and it's going to be directed by Ashley Southers, my daughter.
All right.
Well, she's going to, work with Vanessa on it. And I'm excited about it. Vanessa went over it with me and Montez and, her ideas. And I'm really excited about it. PJ Gaynor is going to be our filmmaker who's going to be putting together all our pieces for it.
PJ actually got Dave some pancakes once. We'll talk
yeah?
about that later. Yeah, we'll talk about that another time.
Okay, some Gaynor cakes. Okay,
That's right.
Yeah. So, but we're excited about it. We hope to begin filming in the next couple of weeks. We have actually a production meeting tomorrow, and so we're going to get rolling on that, and then we're going to. Let me see. I think next up you have the website.
Yeah, we have the website up, but the season's all online, correct?
Yeah. I think it's going to be Alyssa Brennan's show. Grizz to the. Oh, actually, it's going to be Kim Hill's show.
Right. Scroll down a little, Dave, if you can.
Yeah, it's going to be Kim L's show, which is called Ubuntu Holiday, which we did a few years ago, so we already have it in the can. And Wally Jamal filmed that for us, so that's going to be in December. And then we're going to, am I on the right?
It's
order?
Ubuntu Holiday. You're correct, Kim.
Yeah. And then Grist to the Mill by Alyssa Brennan, directed by Jeffrey Carpenter.
Oh wow, great!
Yeah. And so I'm excited about that because, I've named 3 super uber creative people so far. So, it's going to be creative. We got creative people working with them. So we're really excited about that.
Good. This is amazing.
Then I have a show that I've been working on for the past 2 years. I've been meeting with Cyril Weck twice a month. We haven't met during the pandemic at all. We talked on the phone. But I've been working with him over the last couple of years, and I'm doing a piece with him. And somehow the whole George Floyd worked its way into the play. The George Floyd situation worked its way into the play because, when you talk about Dr. Weck, the angle was already dealing with African Americans whose murders were not talked about a lot, and now it's really been heightened. So, and hopefully we're going to be able to get who we wanted. Dr. Weck's going to be in it, and I've been talking with David Whalen, and David may be in it, and Sam Lothar and Susie McGregor Lane. So we're excited about that piece. And then we're going to close out with a piece by V. Boheme. She's actually was one of the August Wilson dancers. She's an artist. She had a show that was supposed to go up at the Guthrie, but it was canceled because of the COVID-19. But she has another show she's doing that Montez is working with her on.
And you're going to record. You're going to record these.
Yeah, we're going to fly her in and record it in front of a very small audience, like the rest of the shows, and then we're going to stream them for probably 4 to 6 weeks.
Now, how are you going to? Now, you're streaming 4 to 6 weeks. Now, how are you working a pay scale on this, or is this like a donation thing?
Well, our webmaster Stephen Dorfler has set it up so that tickets are going to be $25, and it could be for a household for whoever. You know what I mean? But there'll also be a tab on there for people to donate. Like if somebody has 8 people come over to watch it, they think they want to help the theater company out. But the foundations in Pittsburgh have been super supportive. So we're ready to rock and roll, and it's not so much about trying to get every penny we can out of the patrons. It's more so about keeping the world of theater. If we treat it like the American flag, we don't want it to touch the ground. You know what I mean? So we're trying
I like that analogy.
Theater up in the air.
Yeah, I'm just curious because a lot of people I've been doing 100 Zoom calls. Some of them you've been on with different every theater in the world known to man, and everyone's just trying to figure out how to work a pay scale. Do you have to give a Zoom password, certain link? Do you have to generate a code for 1,000, 2,000, how many people are going to download it?
Well, I think it depends on. For us, the focus is on the quality of the content, and we just let the chips fall where they may. You know what I mean?
Right on. That's always been your thing.
Yeah, I mean that's how we started out. We, Bare Bones, Bricolage, and Pittsburgh Playwrights. We all started the same year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pretty much within the same year, we all started out, and we were all bare bones.
Literally.
We were, yeah, we
Although
were going,
Bricolage had a budget for their first show.
yeah, but
You and I did not.
yeah, we didn't have a budget. I was using U.S. Steel money. You know what
Yeah, I
I mean?
remember. I remember that. I was using like no money.
I still have a stack of checks that I cashed for people that I never got reimbursed for.
Oh my
I
God.
signed my name on them. You know what I mean?
I believe
Yeah,
that.
still got a
When
stack
we
of checks.
started, man, our first show, it was out of pocket. It was a few $100s.
Right.
Basically, it was all handshakes and back end stuff from the door. And
Right.
Ruth Ann and Bill Malloy
Yeah.
came to the show one night and saw the show, paid the suggested donation of $10,
Right.
left, came back, wrote us a check for $250. And I'll never forget it, man. I wish I hadn't. I mean, I needed to cash it, but I wish I
Yeah.
hadn't cashed it because I mean, I would frame that thing. It was the
Yeah.
nicest, kindest
great.
for
Lawyers
Ruth Ann
are
and Bill,
great.
Miss Bill. But yeah,
Great.
But
great
yeah.
folks. Great.
yeah,
folks.
that was crazy time. So
Yeah,
okay,
we've had some angels. We've had some angels as well.
yeah.
Dr. Michael Ramsey. Susie.
Oh, of
Berger.
course, yeah.
Yeah, but so we're excited about the season, and we've also have just been awarded a grant from the R.K. Mellon Foundation to start an initiative that we're really excited about. It's called Ground Up, and something that we had been planning even before pandemic, but now it can really go hand in hand. But it's a training program. There's very few, you can count on your hand how many designers, African American designers in the world of theater there are. There's very few. I usually bring folks in from out of town, but we're starting a training program that Montez is heading up. Bob Steinig's going to be involved, Tony Ferrari. And we're going to, a lot of other folks, Diane Melchetsky. And we're going to be offering a training program for people to learn the basics. And then we're going to put together a production and have these folks work on them. And if it's something they want to pursue, and go to school for, that would be great. But we want to at least let them get their feet wet and let them get back, behind the scenes and work along with some professionals to see if it's something that a career path they might want to take, or switch to.
And that's great, man. I mean, that's such a great thing, and it's such a need right now. So I'm glad you guys are feeling it, and thankful to the R.K. Mellon Foundation for stepping up for that and making it possible. So you've got that cooking. I mean, it seems like you've got a lot going on in the theater. However, the pandemic has been long, and I know you don't like to sit still. So you have shifted. Some people have pivoted to an online format with theater. Some people have pivoted to teaching, things like that. Mark, what are you doing right now?
I'm an arborist. Well, growing up, my older brother and I, we used to cut trees with my dad.
There you are right there.
Yeah, we didn't have a bucket truck. That's my sleepy foot from the accident. Actually, wait a minute. Is that my right foot? No, that's my good foot. And
That's your right foot, yeah.
Yeah, that's the good foot. And we used to cut trees with my dad, and we did that growing up. We used to hunt and fish with my dad. My dad taught me a lot of different trades. I mean, easily 7 or 8 different trades, you know what I mean? And at different times in my life, I find that it's always great to be able to go back to them. And, if you need to make a few bucks, I'll just be very honest with you. I've been working 2, 3, 4 jobs since I dropped out of college. You know what I mean?
I know you were a photographer. You worked at the mill. You worked at the career.
So, I could sit around and write plays, and the bills will still get paid. You know what I mean? But I'm an old dad. I'm actually like my dad. I'm like my kid's granddad, really, age-wise. But I want them to get a glimpse of how life was when I worked with my dad. We didn't have PS4, you know what I mean? That's their whole world, you know what I mean? My dad was a hard worker. He worked full-time at Elkasan, and then he cut trees on the side. He coached Little League Baseball. He was a constable. He was a committee man. He was a Renaissance man. My mom told me he wrote a play and we can't find it. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that he wrote a play. I knew he had a little typewriter, and he was a photographer. You know, he taught me photography at age 14. So these type of things that have trickled down between me and my brothers, we do multiple things, and it's just a way of life for us. But I find myself wanting to do these things so that my sons, can see the whole idea behind work ethic. You know what I mean? Because it's easy these days for kids. If you look at Little League Baseball has been decimated, especially in the Hill District. We used to have 8 teams, and Ammons had several teams. We used to have like 12 teams in the Hill District. We have 0 now.
And that was pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a shame. And I think all these video games, I think it was an atomic bomb that they dropped on us with all these video games, because our kids have basically given up on a lot of physical sports other than football, and basketball. But baseball's gone in my community. It's gone. I coached baseball for 20 years. I have I run to a lot of my ball players in the barbershop and different places. Mm-hmm. And it's great to see them, And I was a kid when I was coaching. I was 17 years old when I started coaching Little League Baseball. So some of these kids as old as me, they got gray hair now, Yeah. So, but it's been a lot of fun cutting down trees.
So getting back to it, and you got your boys with you.
Yeah, I got my boys. I got one of my Little League players. I got his son. It's 3 actors. Sam Lother. I got 3 actors. A carpenter, a musician, and a playwright. And we're artists out there. You saw what we did with Samantha, Story Camp's Tree. We made a little round table for her and her husband, the kids to sit around the fire with the wood. So we get a little artistic out there, but we train. I'm the aerial guy. You know what I mean? I'm not the ground guy because of my bad leg. If the tree starts to go the other way, I can't get out the way. I'm gonna get. You know what I mean? But my guy Zach Biden is the ground cutter, and then the rest of the guys are laborers.
So
and we get it done.
This is the time of year people are trying to get their landscaping done. If they got dead trees that need to go, they don't want snow to hit them and fall on their house. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you for the what are we going to call? What are we going to call your tree removal service?
The Tree Squad.
The Tree Squad. Okay, I thought we were going to.
Our motto is we take them down. You know what I mean?
The Tree Squad. All right.
We're the Proud Men.
The Proud Men. There you go. You start using that, you'll get a whole different clientele that you wouldn't even expect.
The Proud Men.
The Proud Men in pieces. Just stand back. Stand back and stand ready.
Stand back while we fire up these steel chainsaws.
Yeah, let's see who comes at you then. But yeah, so I mean, you guys take them, put them down, remove all the debris, get it going.
We have a dump. We have a dump, and we have a bucket truck. It all started this summer. Last year, my mother got an estimate, and it was kind of outrageous. And I told my brother, I said, man, come on, we grew up doing this. And so I went to Ohio, and I purchased this bucket truck. And it's well,
that's great. Does this one have brakes like your old box truck didn't?
Yeah, this was good.
Yeah, I've told that story twice on this show now. Once with you and once without you. With Mansueto here, it's too good to pass up. But before we start wrapping things up, Mark, your Facebook page is probably the best way to get at you for that. And most of the people watching this on Facebook.
Text me. Need my phone number. It's
don't put it out here. Don't put it out here. Just email us at the show. We'll forward it on to Mark.
Go on Facebook. It's Mark Clayton Southers. But it's been a lot of fun. And on a side note, I haven't been depressed all summer. And you would think I would be depressed because of this whole pandemic, but this has really given me something to focus on, something to include my family and friends in, And we go out, we're outdoors. We're not. Is that the little Pep?
Good job. Pep? That's little Pep. She was just coming to say goodnight.
We're outdoors. We're breathing fresh air. and we're we're helping people out. The truck makes a big difference. The aerial truck. If I didn't have that truck, I probably wouldn't be doing this.
Well, yeah, how are you going to get up that tree? Not
Yeah,
you,
you go.
but
You're right up there. That picture that you showed was out of Janice Burley Wilson's house.
yeah, I got it off her Facebook. We tried to get the video of this, but it wouldn't pass. I couldn't pass it to Dave.
Yeah. So that was a big tree she had in front of her house.
Had.
Yeah.
Because of the what are you the Proud Man? What was the name?
The Proud Man. We took it down.
We took it down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
we
good.
didn't
But
stand down.
but all right. So before we let you go, I don't know. Is Grizz still waiting in the wings? Because I want to hear the Delroy Lindo whitewater rafting
Bring
story.
on the Grizz man.
All right, Grizz is here. Okay, so
Hey,
so
Grizz.
How's it going?
so talk to me, Dave. While we're talking, you can probably find a picture on Sothers' Facebook page of him with Delroy Lindo, and I think August Wilson's probably in that picture as well.
Yeah. Well, we were there for the Edward Albee Theater Festival in Valdez, Alaska, where they had the oil spill, of course. And Delroy and his wife were there as some of the feature artists. And we were reading all August Wilson's plays together. But during the daytime, their hosts, we would go to these really beautiful homes for lunch and then for early dinners. And I'm talking about spectacular homes with eagles flying around outside, And then we would go on different outings. And one of the outings was a whitewater raft trip. And I would say it was a 4, but it could have been a 3. And in my mind, a 4. But it was pretty. It was pretty rough.
It might have been a 2, Mark. I mean, it's been 20 years.
No, it wasn't a 2. It wasn't a 2 because, Javon was screaming like a little girl. I'm gonna tell you
Javon Johnson was there. I gotta get Javon on this show.
He was hitting some high notes.
Are you serious? Javon's like athlete. Javon was our Chad Deity when we did that the show for anybody watching. So Javon's like, Captain Diesel jumping off the top rope.
The guy was hitting some high notes. He was hitting some 5-octave ranges there. But I have pictures of it. I'll send them to you.
Okay.
I gotta find them.
All right. So
it was a lot of fun.
So it was a lot of fun. I mean, how long were you out on the water, and how was Delroy on the water?
I can't remember how long we were on the water, but I have photos of all us in our gear. I have photos of us on the water too. The pictures they took. I can't remember. It was nice though. It was. We went through some pretty good rapids. We didn't.
What city were you near? What city were you near?
We were in Valdez, Alaska. Valdez, right in Valdez. Yeah, it was.
So the town was Valdez or Valdez, and the ship was called the Valdez as well, that went down.
Probably.
No, that's what it was. It was the Exxon Valdez. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. But it was 1998. I'll send you the pictures. We had a good time. Yeah, we had a good time.
Because meanwhile, I feel like Grizz is doing some research to try to find out exactly where you were and what the waterways were.
Yeah.
It was like you were on a class 4.
Yeah. It was pretty rough.
All
we
right.
made it through. Yeah.
That's impressive. And that was your first time out?
No. I've been up to up at Brownsville. Up to what's the name? What's the one up there? The one you were talking about earlier.
In Ohio Pal?
Ohio Pal, yeah.
Oh,
I've been on Ohio Pal, yeah.
All right. So, see, I find out something new about you every day, Mark Sothers.
I'm old, man. I'm ancient. I'm ancient.
The adventure, man.
Well, all right. Well, you're a Renaissance man, just like your father, apparently. Because literally, I didn't know it all came from him, but I'm sure it had to come from somewhere. Because Mark, you cannot sit still. So that's a good thing about you, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start wrapping this up. While we got you here, Grizz, hey, Dave, who was the winner of the in-show poll that only the people who watched the show tonight could vote on? While we're waiting for Dave, what was the temperature up there in Alaska? Was it hot, cold? Were you in like wetsuits? I'm just asking. Amanda just asked.
It was the summertime, but the water was cold.
Yeah,
it's coming off that glacier. You know what I mean?
What'd you say, Grizz?
It's all snowmelt up there, coming off the mountain peaks.
Yeah. We went out to the glacier too. Picked up some of that blue ice. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I wonder if it's still there.
Yeah.
At all. All right, Dave. Let's do a drum roll. Let's hear the winner of the EH25 Lil Jagoff poll. The in-show Jagoff poll is. Oh, here we go. Oh, the rafts have pulled it out.
They're safer.
They're safer. I wish we had the footage
Well,
of.
you got other people
They're
to.
safer when you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, you got other people to balance you out too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I don't know. Pete went out on his little raft dinghy thing, and he didn't do so well on was this class 3, Pete?
I
He by
did.
himself?
Well,
Yeah,
I was-
Pete went out by himself.
well, no, I went with another friend of mine who didn't know what he was doing.
Okay.
No,
We
when
went
you were
out
on
on
the
the,
dinghy, you were by yourself though on the dinghy. Is what he's saying.
It was my own individual raft, but
Yeah.
I have 3 of them. So I went up to McConnell's Mill and did the Slippery Rock Creek, which was fun. But I had no idea what I was doing. Was not prepared with the right life jacket or helmet.
Dave, do we have tape? Can we?
Probably does.
I've seen video footage.
All
I
right,
went
guess-
down. I went down hard.
It didn't seem that hard. You went down gracefully, Pete. All right, the one time. The second time, not so much. But I can't believe you actually went on the rapids in that dinghy.
I got to test it, man. It's the manufacturer says it's good for up to class 2. Some people have pushed it to class 3. So
Were you on a 2 or a 3 that day?
I don't know. Grizz would be the one to ask.
2+.
2+. See,
2+.
what's the Allegheny on where there's a lot of boats? It's real choppy.
That'd be a 1.
But you have to watch out for the feces in the water there.
Big wave created 2.
What would you call it, a mon? I mean, what about the mon like right there by the point? What would those rapids be? Because it gets kind of choppy when them big boats come
The
by.
water is very swirly there, but it's still just class 1.
Okay.
You ever notice the Mon looks like the water's going the other way?
Yeah. And they're different. Wait, the mon and the Allegheny are different colors.
I know, but the Mon looks like the water's going toward Homestead.
If you're ever in the Ohio area or anything like that, and you see the large rock formations in the river, that was in the Ohio River. That was in the Monongahela and the Allegheny River. And to create commerce, they blew up all these rocks and then blew up the bottom of the river and then drudged it so that it would be deeper.
Wow.
Or else the entire river would be like class 1 and 2 all the way down. I mean,
They would have found that plane a lot quicker on the Mon.
And the Beaver River, if we took out all of those dams, that'd be a good class 3 river.
Wow.
Jeez. All right. I'm going to ask, hey, Dave, is there any chance we have that footage?
He's working on it. He's working.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to keep talking.
Dave says he loves you, Patrick. He's just singing your praise in my right ear right now.
I love when this happens. I haven't said his name more than once a show in like months.
He said he's looking for that shot of you, full frontal of you from
Take me
the
out.
performance. From Take Me Out. He's trying to find that.
All right. Well, it's getting late, everybody, and getting news from the booth here. All right. So, all right. Mark, did you guys ever do any readings or anything at the Brillo Box?
My daughter just had a play with 12 Piers Theater there.
Gotcha.
She had a one act. I've
Here
had
comes
one.
Pete.
I had one a couple years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. That's what I was asking. We were talking Brillo Box before. Here comes Pete. His legs are
Great wings,
straight.
great wings.
Straight legs. Oh, there they are. I gotta be real with you, Pete. It looks worse when it's choppy than it did like in regular flow. Because like I remember watching him be like, that was cool, man. It didn't look like it hurt. He went down, but like I still respect,
Wait
you
a minute,
know.
that raft was blue. I thought it was red.
It's red on
red.
top.
Yeah.
When you see the blue part of his raft, throw him a rope.
It was fun, I'm gonna try to do it again sometime. I just need to get a helmet and life jackets.
So yeah, no helmet, no life jacket on. What's that yellow thing you're wearing? Oh,
Oh shit!
So my friend who I went with was like, "Oh, I have this adult small life jacket if you want to wear it." And I mean, I'm 6'3", 235 pounds, so an adult small doesn't quite fit me real well. So, yeah.
All right. That's good. Is this the same take, or is this a second run?
It's a
He's just messing with me now.
Okay. We're gonna try to get this thing real nice. Oh, it's good, Pete. It's good. Look at that. Look at those feet. What size shoe are you, Pete? That looks like a 13.
13. That's
That
13.
looks like a 13 right there. Oh! I didn't make it this time either. I keep thinking it's like when you watch a movie, you think
He's gonna eventually.
he's gonna make it. I mean, Rocky's gonna lose this one. I think Rocky's gonna lose. Oh wait, he won again. But in this time, it's the opposite. But cool, man. Well, respect. I probably wouldn't have done that. I'd have tried. I'd have gone like on my stomach. I think I might have had a better shot.
No.
No, that's a good drop. That's a good 12-inch drop, probably. So.
All right.
There's a craft out there called the belly yak. You'd like that. You just use your arms.
There was a girl who went down on the gully the other day on a boogie. What is that, boogie board?
Yeah, boogie's gonna boogie.
Head first, boogie board. It was crazy. I was like, this chick is nuts.
Wow. No helmet.
She was wearing a helmet.
Helmet and a life jacket on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, head first down some of those rapids, no way I would do that.
And she had knee pads on too.
Well, that's cool. Well, I mean, I guess we should probably start thinking about wrapping it up, but we should, let everyone hear and let everyone know the big jag-off poll is back, ladies and gentlemen. We have two teams that are in the Sweet 16 here. Now, we say jag-off poll. It's a term of endearment. It's not like these are derogatory things. Pick the one you hate. But it is two Pittsburgh icons, the EH25.com big jag-off poll. We are back to the big bracket. The little Jags have played their way in. We are rolling again. It is a showdown for the ages. Dave Mansueto, tell them about it.
The year was 1642, January 1st, Monday morning. And God was bored. And on that day, God decided that Pittsburgh must emerge from three rivers and erect itself to become the center of all that is civilized in civilization as we know it today. It was Monday morning, and God worked very hard, and he decided to take a dip in the cool rivers. And then he thought to himself, I'm tired. I've done enough today. I'm going to sleep. 1694, Tuesday morning, 8 a.m., God arises from a long slumber. He is hungry. And he thinks to himself, I'd like something to eat. How about cookies? I wish there was a table with many, many cookies for me to eat on. And then he said, oh, damn, I gotta create cookies first. But once I'm done creating cookies, I'll create something else. 1694, Wednesday morning, God arises from a drowsy slumber. And he decides there needs to be a table to hold cookies. 1694, Thursday morning, God gets a little tummy ache from eating too many cookies. He decides there needs to be a warning to tell people, don't eat that many cookies. And on that day, God created Mr. Yuck. And that is your jag-off, Pittsburgh. The cookie table versus Mr. Yuck. Now get some sleep.
All right, folks, you saw it here. You can start voting. It is live right now. That was the quickest delivery I've ever heard in my life. 1694 was a big year. And as you know, that's where the cookie table was born. Wednesday morning, I believe. It was 9 a.m. So the iconic cookie table, the wedding cookie table, which is a Pittsburgh tradition, versus the Mr. Yuck sticker. I don't know if you realize this, but the doctor was from Pittsburgh that came up with it. We've got lots of stuff going on with COVID right now. We've got the poison help thing. We've got that. So get your voting on right now. It's going to be live now. It's going to go to tomorrow. Go to togetherpgh.com/vote. And get rolling on that. And I want to thank our guests tonight. We got Mark Clayton Southers from Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater and Proud Men Tree Removal Service that take it down for you. Grizz, the White Water Man. You can find out. We got his the links to the two places where he is right there. And if you got a bus, he can drive it. And if you got a bar, he can clear it for you if somebody's rowdy. Maybe if somebody's looking for like somebody to, if people aren't wearing masks in the building, you want somebody to clear them out. Maybe Grizz is your man. You ever think about that? I know a couple of retailers that might need a doorman.
Yeah, there's a lot of work for that now.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you guys so much. Tomorrow, tune in. We've got fantastic guests. We've got Anna Hollis is going to be here from Amachi, talking about the Amachi Hachipachi coming up, which has gone online. And we've got Kate Romaine talking about what Kate ate. It's going to be a big show tomorrow. There's going to be obviously more, the Jagoff poll results. And then Friday, we've got Dave Bracey, Natalie Bensafenga, and more guests to tell you about. So without, to wrap things up, Pete, you got anything for us?
Black Lives Matter.
All right. And factually accurate. Thank you all very much for being here. We'll be back tomorrow. I want to thank our sponsors, Red Start Roasters, Farm to Table, and eh25.com. Thanks. We will see you tomorrow. And don't forget what Sally Wiggin tells you about wearing a mask.
When I walk out and there's someone without a mask and they come too close to me, I'm just racked with fear, and then I want to punch them in the face.
Don't make Sally punch you in the face. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.